What is wrong with living our lives? Nothing. Everything is as it should be. What can be the cost of living our lives? Our souls. What do you mean by that? The choices we make in the course of living our lives determine what happens after our lives are done. Being comfortable in life is one of the primary goals society programs into us as citizens of different countries. Despite the geographic differences and distances, Western culture as a whole displays remarkable similitude in how ideofacts and sociofacts are ingrained within populations. To be successful in any of the Western cultures, a modicum of capitalistic ideology and consumer-oriented methodology must be inculcated by groups, families and individuals. To belong and to epitomize the expression of said culture, the actual, material expression of lifetime success is a relative degree of affluence as measured by the modernization moves that permeate Eurocentric society and those sycophant societies serving as peripheral outposts of raw material and low-wage earner extraction. The daily choice of complying with the demands of modern society result in the accumulation of karmic debt as a result. Because we choose to work, we accept the ramifications of what it means to do that work. If I am a police officer, then I accept the consequences of protecting the property of the rich. If I am an insurance salesman, I accept the consequences of propping up a system built upon the enslavement of human beings. If I am a soldier, I accept the consequences of being involved in corporate mercenary adventurism. If I work at a fast food restaurant, then I accept the consequences of feeding customers food that not only is not good for them but actually helps to kill them. Society is successful because of the complicity of ordinary human beings. Because we need jobs, because we have to pay our bills, because we have to drive our cars, because we have to live, we accept the consequences of contributing to the continuation of the vast life-draining machinery that we call modern Western society. We accept our complicity in its continuance, often not even wanting to know the details of that agreement. We don't want to know the depths of the crimes we are engaged in by association and by active work. We would rather take our paychecks and spend them on big-screen televisions, be able to go out to nice restaurants with our friends on the weekend and imbibe in more death-dealing food, drugs and alcohol in order to drown ourselves in oblivion as a result of not wanting to face up to the consequences of our lifestyles and what those lifestyles actually support. It is painful to look at the path of a lifetime and determine that you are not on the side of the good guys. If you come to realize it, you may ask the universe, but what else could I have done? What other choices did I have? And the answers to those questions might have shaken you to your very core, or given rise to a visceral fear that the loss of material security must result in these days and times of political and social unrest, of economic insecurity and planetary shifts, nothing is certain. No life, no relationship, no job, no aspect of the natural world currently exists in a state of equilibrium, all is in flux. This flux is resulting in the gradual coalescence of a new paradigm of interrelation that must of necessity result in a more sustainable global society, a society based upon principles of egalitarianism rather than on restrained capitalism and economic privation. Despite the fact that everything as it currently exists is as it should be, that does not mean that there is not room for change. Since change on a global level must start with change on a personal level, it is incumbent upon all who desire to live a conscious life in support of sustainable interrelationships with each other and the world. All attempts at shifting the paradigmatic focus must start within us each. Each one of us must go within and find out what it is that we are made of. In order to do that, we must determine, first, what our major illusions are, what our fears are. What is it in our lives that is holding us back from being all that we can be? What is holding you back? What do you fear? What is it in your life that you absolutely cannot afford to lose? What is it that causes you to compromise all of your vaunted ideals and accept less than you deserve? Asking these questions, actually realizing that these questions need to be asked, is one of the first steps to choosing to awaken to some of the deeper realities of life. Of accepting the fact that the way things have been is not the way things should be and that a change is in order. accepting your compliance with the system and that you are indeed an agent of the system as long as you work for and through the system to support the global hierarchy of dominance and control is a big step in figuring out how to create a lifestyle of non-compliance and opposition to the machine. That opposition does not have to be violent. In fact, non-compliance is one of the best and most effective ways to isolate systemic institutions and marginalize them to the extent that new, people-centered and sustainable institutions arise to serve the needs of a humanity more concerned with living life instead of accumulating capital and material goods. Living life in support of life, in support of animal rights, in support of human rights, in support of the Earth's rights beyond the capacity of formal institutions based upon capitalistic redistribution of wealth that actually serves to continue the concentration of wealth among the haves rather than increase its availability to the so-called have-nots, going beyond money to reclaim a basic goodness and sense of shared destiny and circumstance that binds us all together as a whole, rather than continue giving power to the separationisms dividing us into classist, ethnic and individual parts, is the only way to make sense of any future conceptualization of life in this world. Anything less can only be a continuation of what is already occurring, and the way life is being lived right now, or dreamed of being lived right now, by way too many is not what life is supposed to be about. Making money. Being rich. Being famous. People sell their souls on the daily and watch themselves, helplessly, as their spark for life lessens, as their bitterness grows, as their bodies age and their minds ossify in regret and lost hope. And they wonder what happened and when, knowing all the while exactly what happened and when they made the choice to conform to the life presented them and to give up their dreams for a sense of false security. These things are distractions from the true purpose of life. Introspection. Inner growth. Spiritual evolution. Happiness, love. Peace. What is right with our lives? Everything. Living in awareness is conscious evolution. What is the reward for living a good life? Stability of surroundings, of societal and familial roles. Peace of body and mind. Is that really a goal worth living for? It is the only goal worth living for.